year going down on center court. Tampa Bay Damage going to be taking the field for the first time, taking on Seattle Uprising, who dropped their first game pretty big to Aftermath. So we'll see if they can step it up. And then Aftermath going to be playing in this set against New York Xtreme. Aftermath looked really good in that first one, and so did New York Xtreme, so this should be a fun battle. And on the first breakout here, it does look like it is a good old classic 5-on-5 break. Actually, Uprising
playing much differently here, Matty.
Yeah, they're
streaking the 50s.
Streaking up the field here, playing aggressive here against Tampa Bay. And this is a layout, man. When I saw this, started talking to people how it looked, I'm thinking, man, this could be a really good layout for Tampa Bay Damage.
I bet Joey Blue's sitting in Florida smiling right now. 4-on-5 advantage for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay pushing up into the center wedge. Uprising know that he's up there. They saw him go. Tracy's getting in there and getting a little check on him. Referee's back out. She says he's okay. Very different look from Uprising's first match, Matt. Two guys to the 50 almost immediately. Much more aggressive posture here.
Yeah, you can see the aggressive breakout has allowed Uprising to take some ground, but still looking for their kill, and they do. They get the kill here on the snake side.
Yeah, trying to go from that tower to that brick, that center cube. Stood up tall over the top and caught him. He might get a second kill here. Nope. I think that's Agent Smith there in the wing for Damage.
Yeah, it's a good spot for Smith to be in.
Yeah, playing very smart up there, proactively. Damage has got looks like Jason Edwards in the Aztec, and I heard he was having an amazing practice. Yeah, they've got somebody else in the Dorito can over there, so 4-on-4 battle right now.
It was Lackey that took the walk here on the snake side for Tampa Bay. And then now with that kill, Uprising, yeah, just a different, more aggressive look here for Uprising, and they get a body into the snake.
Successful with this than they are with the defensive posture, but they had that first point, Matty.
Yeah, still in really good positions with those two bodies at the 50, and then sneaking a body here into the snake structure. Smith is just waiting on him, though, and then there's the lineup on the D side for Tampa Bay Damage. Looks like D1 or D2 doing a little surgery on his gun, though.
Uprising intelligently filling to the back center now, and he's going to use that back center to get out to that Dorito can over there, which is one of the most important. Oh, and he does it as he goes out. He gets the cross kill on Agent Smith there.
Yeah, Smith came around to try to get the drop on the player in the center, but it cost him his body, and no one walking off from that death from Smith.
That's very unlikely. Smith is usually 100% up there all the time. But, you know, first point in the match, obviously going to take him a little bit to get going. Damage with two players on the Dorito side. One first attacking the Dorito 3. Also the Dorito corner.
Borromeo past the 50 now and trying to get that crossfield kill on D3. He has to live by his gun or get down here. He can't stay in that spot for too long.
That's a tough spot. He's getting so much pressure back in on him, too, from the corner.
Yeah, he's in a real perilous position currently here. Graham Arnold is out on the 50-yard line. Might be able to help him out a little bit, but not really because he's kind of blocked out from that spot from the wedge.
Jason Edwards taking the walk from the Aztec. Damage down 2-on-4 advantage here for Uprising. Uprising with their snake. Oh, Uprising losing one of their attackers on the D side, Matty. So 3-on-2 now.
With Edwards walking off, that's going to allow Borromeo some breathing room over here. And then a little tactical retreat in the center for Uprising. They're trying to pinch out these last couple bodies. And that is a real good series of moves across to get that offensive threat on that D side after losing that body here for Uprising.
Yeah.
And this is a huge gap that Borromeo has to cross, though, here on the snake side.
I wouldn't think 150 feet is that big a gap.
Ooh, he's got to toss Arnold some paint, too.
Yeah, throwing some grenades back. So 3-on-2. Damage down on bodies, but Uprising having a hard time getting either one of these guys. Oh, there we go. Now 3-on-1 advantage here for Uprising with only one player left alive. He's in the Dorito corner for Damage. Tough can to fight when the field's spread like that. We'll see if he can pull off some magic. Nope. So last player being eliminated, I think that was Jacob Edwards over there. So Uprising winning this first point, and they did so off a completely different game plan and kind of style of play, and I think that's going to be a more successful style for them, Matt.
They looked really good in that point.
They looked really good. Matty's got a chubby up here.
I mean, that was a very impressive performance here for Uprising. I mean, they were able to take the ground early. They got the couple kills, started weeding them down, and then it was just Horn and Edwards over there left on that side, but just almost no mistakes from Uprising. Yeah, they lost a body, but you know, no big deal.
No mistakes from their key personnel in those 50 positions.
And then even when they lost the body from that D side, the secondaries over.
Reddit,
yeah, the fills over
reacted.
were just perfect.
Yeah, that was really. You're right, Matt. That was a really, really start to finish good point from Uprising. They made a couple mistakes. They made the adjustments off of those mistakes and closed well. That was probably one of the best points we've seen out here.
Yeah, just Coach Aaron Ormrod there on your screen. Love that play call, man. Very gutsy play call to start things out against Tampa Bay. It paid some dividends for them, and they go up early, 1-0. So now jumping in with Aftermath and New York Xtreme. Again, both these teams with a victory. Aftermath with a pretty solid win over Uprising, I believe by 3. I think it was 4-1 was the final score. And then New York Xtreme was incredibly dominant against Energy Elite, but had a couple mistakes there towards the end of the match.
Threw a couple points away at the end.
Play a little cleaner.
Good breakout for both of these teams, Matty. 5 alive for both teams.
Yeah, and sure enough, Pat Kraft has been pretty relentless in that center of the field. Hennessy also taking some ground early. Jordan in there for Aftermath, though. Aftermath from the red side in the red jerseys. New York Xtreme in the black and gray on the blue side. At least to start things out. These teams switch sides when points are scored. Hennessy taking some more ground, getting to that 50-yard line with Pat Kraft. So Pat's in the center.
Putting some pressure
Hennessy
on Joe Barrett there in the tower for Aftermath. Great 5-on-5 battle here, Matty. Great first point for both of these teams. Good field positions.
Barrett's on Infamous now.
Oh, Barrett, sorry.
Yeah, so Aftermath playing a little bit more on their heels with some nice moves for New York Xtreme.
Corner, that's what it was, sorry.
Yeah, Aftermath able to get out and spread the field here, Snake's Eye, but very little offense. It's just Jordan.
Yeah, very defensive posture here, Matt. 4 in the back, 1 in the front, but the front guy playing completely defensively here. It's going to be up to New York Xtreme to figure out what the cross is, figure out how to get into this defense. Switch from the offensive play now. Filled out to the corner there from Jerry Caro, it looks like. Gets out there alive. So New York with 3 across the back line. They've got Jerry Caro, CJ Cantor, Corey Hall. 2 at the 50 with Will Hennessy and Pat Kraft. Aftermath with 4 across the back line. And Jordan, in the lone guy up front in that key position, having a battle with Pat Kraft there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, either Jordan has to stay alive, and they have to find a way to shoot either Kraft or Hennessy or find a way to take some ground. But with the way that things are shaking out for Xtreme, now Aftermath going to get into D1. But still just not much forward progression here for Aftermath, playing more on their heels, dictating the pace of play currently with those 2 bodies up at those center 50 bricks here. New York Xtreme looking pretty good. They do allow the Aftermath player to get across the gap.
Yeah,
though,
Will Hennessy was not shooting his gap there. He's got 8 pods of paint on his back, but decided to wait until after the guy crossed the gap until he started shooting his gun.
Ooh, jump shot here for Pat Kraft Jr.
Pat Kraft stepping up.
Beautiful kill for Pat Kraft.
Almost makes up for Will Hennessy's mistake there.
And then they're going to shoot that body from D3 as well, too. 5-on-3 situation in favor. Oh, then Pat Kraft gets shot out.
4-on-3 advantage to New York as Corey Hall moves from Dorito 1 to Dorito 3. Will Hennessy switches from inside zone control to outside control. Aftermath with Snake corner, Dorito can, and the Aztec on the Snake side. 3-on-4 advantage as CJ Cantor fills from the can into the wing on the D side, Matt. Both teams communicating, just trying to figure out where the bodies are, where the zone are. These first points are so important in these matches, Matt.
Yeah, I would like a little bit more communication maybe from New York Xtreme right now. They're talking it up.
Yeah.
Okay, now
he just gets a kill.
Or just win some gunfights. There you go.
Either way. Either way.
A couple gunfight wins here, and now just 1 body left alive, and that is going to do it here. So solid first point.
Yeah, and Pat Kraft died that point, but he really contributed in the beginning of that point before he was eliminated. So although he's eliminated, really good job from Pat Kraft there as well.
Yeah, and the death didn't really, because Hennessy was also up there too, didn't really put him in that bad of a spot with that death, and he had already got a kill or 2 maybe from that position. But I like that play call, having both those guys into that position to get Hennessy up there on the secondary, send Pat Kraft up there off the break.
It'll be interesting to see if Aftermath now, because they went so defensively that first point, if they come offensively the second point.
Yeah.
And if so, if Dan and New York Xtreme have that in their playbook and can deal with it. I bet Bo is watching this match closer than he's ever watched any match in his life. It must be so hard for him. Sorry, buddy.
Well, we got next line coming out here for Tampa Bay. Got Rainey Stanzik making the move over from X Factor to Tampa Bay Damage.
I think that was one of the biggest pickups in the offseason that no one was really talking that much about.
Well, there was so many moves in the offseason, but that one happened a little bit earlier.
I didn't notice any.
Yeah. Looks like Mark Ireland's going to get a spin, too. Chad Bougier's out there. Keith Brown.
Some of these lineups that teams are able to put together out there, you look at it like, man, that's a scary lineup.
On the breakout, both teams going wide here, Snake side, and then up and around here for Uprising. So Uprising bringing in yet again And
I love Uprising switching to offense, Maddie.
And Creek is able to make it alive all the way into the snake, and then on a secondary, they're going to get Ormrod up into the spot. Looks like Marky's already at the wedge, though, shooting crossfield, trying to stop that move on the D side. Keith Brown, he comes out and around to get into the insert, so still a little bit better field position here at the crossfield spread because D3 also occupied for Uprising right now.
Yeah, I don't really care what the name of your team is. If you're going to try to out-defense Tampa Bay Damage or out-defense Impact, you're probably going to go home early.
Body does drop, though, for Uprising, so down to 4 bodies out there, but still, it wasn't one of their front players.
I was just going to say it was one of the back guys, so it wasn't one of the key positions. The guys are already in the key positions, and Dorito 3, the center wedge, and then the wing snake 1.
Ormrod improves his position slightly, going to the wedge, mirrored up with Marky Ireland. Chad Bougier gets out of that back center and goes up into the Aztec in the middle.
I think you're going to see these 5 spots right here, Matt, almost every single play on Sunday morning, and they're going to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
Really strong positions for Tampa Bay Damage in the tower on the snake side, the can on the Drio side, the little Aztec in between the two, and then the 2 wings over here on the snake side. Those 5 positions can see each other, they can communicate to each other, and they can control the whole field from there. You can't launch a lot of offense if you got to play kind of counter punch paintball, but that's exactly what Tampa Bay Damage is good at.
And they have 4 bodies here towards the snake side. I mean,
yeah.
Chad's looking D side, but he's at the Aztec shading towards the
this
snake
field
side.
is center snake dominant, and it's only when there's no one looking on the Dorito side are you able to make a big move over there and shoot 3 or 4 guys. So they basically just play island ball over there.
Yeah, they have one body, and he's not even out that wide, and his gun is shifting towards the snake side. So
yep. And they compensate that with Keith Brown and Snake 1 and whoever's in that center Aztec shooting the Dorito side to make up for that.
Yeah, and I would think that Damage would have picked up on that kill, but maybe they didn't. I mean, there was a shot out of the backfield. They have a body in front of them they're worried about. But I'm guessing that they do know that it's a 5-on-4 situation.
Yeah, because they're in the opposing pit now, so that guy had to walk by them before he got off the field. So I'm sure they know.
Creek now crawling up to the 50-yard line, and the snake.
Love to see some sneaky snake play out of Creek there.
So they have 2 bodies in front of them, so it's a little bit more aggressive right now for Uprising as the body at the brick and a body at that 50-yard line outside with Creek.
Rainey with almost like supernatural timing fills out to the corner right before that, and now with that Creek's there, his position is canceled out by Rainey's move out to the corner.
Yeah, and that Creek actually is going to come back a little bit, and he's catching a lot of fire down that sideline. He's getting pinched from both sides, so great job by Damage to pinch out Creek, who had gotten a good spot. Beautiful fill from Rainey, and good pickup from the can as well, too. So
yeah,
now,
they put so much pressure in there, he really couldn't live.
No one putting any pressure on Marky, so Marky's going to pop the top from that wedge.
Keith Brown gets shot going outside.
Ooh, that was a nice kill there on Keith Brown. Marky hears it. Marky comes through and cleans out that 50-yard line, and he's going to get a little 2-pack with the crossfield kill on the head of the player for Uprising in D3. And then they're also going to get another kill as well, too, on Graham. So
yeah, Damage has won this point handily.
Nice job by Marky Ireland in this one, and Rainey Stanzik as well.
Rainey's got impeccable timing. Really understands like the ebbs and flows of the game, and like, listen, at this time, if they get here, it's going to be bad for us, so I got to get here to cancel that out for when he makes that move. Getting to the next point with Aftermath and New York Xtreme. Aftermath with a little bit of a defensive game plan that first game. See if they come out with a little bit more heat this game. I expected to see them attacking the snake or snake side early.
Good job by Mikey Waring to stay alive at that can.
Very.
I mean, Mikey's more of a missile guy typically, but showing some diversity.
That position is island ball, and everyone's playing that.
But the fact you send a guy that's been a fast, crazy, insane
it's almost
athlete
like
missile.
It's almost like they're setting him up, bro.
Yeah. So, but he goes to that spot and stays alive and controlled zones.
Derek, go over there. If you stay alive, we'll keep playing you. If you die, we got to pull you.
Yeah, just showing some diversity in his skill set. Ooh, a bad start here for Aftermath.
Oh, look, snake on the break. We called it.
Well, they were able to tag up, but they lose that body going to the snake off the break. I think that's Castro getting shot out of there, catches a couple extra.
Late fills to that corner.
Well, that was the guy that got the bad start, and then that cost him the body as well, too. So down to 3 bodies out here right now for Aftermath, and looking really good here for New York Xtreme as they get out wide snake side. Again, sending Pat Kraft Jr. to that 50 brick. Yeah, full control here for New York Xtreme.
Aftermath with the Dorito can, center temple as he gets eliminated, and the snake corner now just 2 on 5.
Yeah, might be seeing a concession here.
Probably because Aftermath should concede this, and New York should not try to go forward and win this point. They should try to burn some more time off this clock if they can. Good point there for New York Xtreme. Aftermath being a little bit predictable in that breakout. almost like they had talked about last night. Hey, if you win this first point, this is probably what they're going to do the second point.
I'm also, speaking of predictability, it's working so until, run it until you can stop it. But I'm wondering if Xtreme is going to continue to send Pat Kraft up to that 50 brick point after point after point after point off the break, Because so far, it's only 2 points in, but these 2 points in a row he's gone there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Aftermath's going to recognize that at some point and either send a body up there
clever,
to counteract
point
it.
to hold him back and set up the trap, right?
Exactly. Get him in there on a secondary, or hope that you sucker him into committing a body to come around and get him out of there.
And so we talked about that exactly last night, and our third point was hoping that happens. Whether we can execute that or not, or whether they fall for the trap or not, we don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out with that little bit of inside info. Oh, Uprising goes back to their defensive breakout, Matt. I think that's a big mistake. Unless they're just shooting and then going to go. Losing one out of back center now.
Well, it looks
losing
like
another out of back center now.
They do lose 2 back players, but the play was definitely a delay. Shoot and then go immediately on the secondaries because they've taken those bricks again.
Yeah, this feels so scary, though, for me, Matt, on the delay, because if those guys decide to take those key positions and then you try to delay into those key positions, they just chop you in half. Literally, your body falls into
But if they didn't lose those 2 back players, this would have been a really sweet game plan.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, they did lose those 2 back players. That forces, I think that was Arnold a little blocked out from his spot, but he just had to retreat back to the back center.
And one guy getting shot out of back center is not very common. 2 guys getting shot out of back center. Someone on Tampa Bay Damage has that shot dialed in. For real. Probably Jason Edwards in this little temple on the snake side that now fills in the snake corner.
Yeah, so this is Damage here on your screen, red side, moving up, getting a little bit better field position to get close to those players at the 50s. It is 1 versus 2, though, up the gut, but Tampa Bay Damage with the numerical superiority out here currently.
Good back and forth match here so far, though. Uprising fills out to that corner.
Dead even on the score, 1-1. Just 6:14 left to go. Seeing some longer points on this layout.
First point was kind of all Uprising. Second point was kind of all Damage. And this point so far is mostly Damage. But Uprising has good field position, which is going to make it harder for Damage to follow up.
Damage able to get body out into D2. On that inside, Edwards is going to get behind Horn.
4-on-3 advantage for Damage here. Damage kind of playing all defensive positions, huh, Matt, except for now that Dorito. The Snake guys are both playing very defensively. They've got the wedge defense on the Snake side, the Snake corner defensively inside. That cross in the middle, that iron cross in the middle is so strong, Matt.
Yeah, it really is. You just have to be really careful when you have. I mean, those bricks are a fortress. You have to be, I'd say, about the way that they're blown up right now. I think you need to be a good 6'2" to be able to play over the top of that.
Yeah, you have to be an adult for sure.
But when you get up there, you can just zone up outside wide and force guys to try to run you down or try to do a little tactical retreat. I think Borromeo just got clipped. That was
bad timing there.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for Borromeo getting clipped out, but that's great for Damage. And then they're going to get the pinch on the other player too, so they take out the 2 fortresses in the center, leaves just 1 body out there, forcing the concession, and Tampa Bay looking pretty good.
Pretty darn good. Yeah, this is. When I saw the layout the first time, I immediately thought, oh, man, I'm really looking forward to watching Tampa Bay Damage and Impact play this field, because it's a field that I feel like lines up very well with their characteristics.
Yeah, for sure. Thought the same thing, and especially when I started to get...
Probably thought it like a minute or 2 after I thought it, but sure, I'm sure you did.
Debatable.
I'm sure you did.
Debatable. Yeah,
after I sent you that text, hey, it'll be super interesting to see these guys play, that's probably when you
did not send me that text. So there's Chad Bougere in the pit right now with Tampa Bay with a 1-point lead. And game still to be decided, though, man. Still got some time. And now I'm wondering, is Uprising going to stick with the aggressive game plan?
I hope so.
Yeah, well, they just did a delay up to the 50s. It worked, but they lost their back players. So Coach Omerod probably trying to figure out what he's going to go with on this next one here.
Looks like Aftermath holds back, Matty.
Yeah, New York
Conservative
Xtreme.
breakout, loses 1 on the break.
New York Xtreme still lacing those bodies up off the break. Pretty good. Xtremes look pretty good out here.
I'm excited to see the new Ironman squad play, too.
Yeah,
new coaching staff, new players. It's interesting to see how this goes. I think he's going to try to make the move to see if he can catch Patch Kraft in that center brick. Fill out to the corner there for Aftermath. 4-on-5 advantage here for New York Xtreme. Got Will Hennessy, Jerry Caro, Corey Hall, Pat Kraft. Can't see who's in back center for them. Aftermath's making their second move up to the attack side on the Snake side. So Aftermath with 3 players over here on the Snake side, 1 at back center, nobody to your side of the field. Looks like Aftermath is looking to push the snake now. Gets up into the snake 1. Now up into the 50 snake, and that's one of those positions where if you don't know he's there, he can do damage. It looks like Will Hennessy figured out that he's there.
Yeah, and most importantly, with the communication, lets his teammate know.
Jerry
Hey,
Carr know.
Jerry, there's a dude at the 50 snake. Be careful. I mean, not that big of a lead to protect here.
Not at
and
all.
a lot of time left. Still 9:43 to go. They do pinch out Morris, though, out of that 50, so that's a crucial kill for New York Xtreme. They allow Jordan to get to the brick for Aftermath here towards the snake side, and he gets the shot in on Carl. So huge shot here from Jordan, and could maybe wrap around and get Will, too.
Can, yeah. 5-on-3 advantage now turns on to a 4-on-3 advantage. Aftermath gets out to the can on the Dorito side, and that's a big move.
Might have
that
just shot
spreads the field.
CJ. CJ trying to get out from that back bunker into the Aztec. Did not know that Jordan had made the move to the brick. Almost caught one. That looks like it bounced.
Yeah, Will's in a bad position now with Aftermath loading up 2 more bodies over here. CJ and Pat Kraft are both playing defense on the wrong side of the field, in my opinion.
Will's going to launch, though. He's going to come through and assassinate Jordan. Missouri's going to get the shot here on Will, though. But do they trade? It looks like they do. So that's a little 2-pack trade. And it looks like a clean run as well for Will Hennessy, as no penalty flags thrown. So nice job by Will to get a little 2-pack. That was close. That was close, though.
For New York Xtreme, yeah. The beginning of that move was amazing. The end of that move was a little scary.
CJ gets out wide. Just one body left alive for New York Xtreme to try to find. He's in D1, and then very quickly getting that shot in on the last player. So New York Xtreme putting up another point here.
Aftermath coaches are over here yelling at Jason, trying to get a penalty on Will Hennessy. But with 5 players left alive.
Really good looks on day 1 for Xtreme so far. They're beating Aftermath, who won their first game against Uprising handily by 3. And then they were just dominant against Energy Elite for the first 4 points. Made some mistakes after that. Still comfortably won that game. So New York Xtreme, as long as things keep going the way they are, going to go 2-0 with maybe a decent point spread. Still a lot of game left.
And I'm a huge fan of New York Xtreme. I was before I started coaching them. But one of our problems in the past has been consistency, and that's one of the things we're working on. And at some point, we're going to get a hold of that. And when we do, I'll be much more confident.
Well, it would be big to, you guys are 4th in your division. Aftermath ranks 2nd, so if you can get the win against the number 2 team.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Jumping into this next one, body coming off right now for damage, and it looks like a clean break for Uprising.
Yeah, and Uprising was able to get out to that baby Dorito, Maddie. So there's an advantage over there. They've got a 1-body advantage, and now Dorito 3, so a positional advantage too, because I don't think they know he's out there, Maddie.
Yeah, they abandoned the center, though. No one attacking up the center. This time it's Damage's turn to attack the center of the field, as they have a body at that 50-yard line brick.
Uprising loses Crete trying to attack on the snake side. 4-on-4, Maddie.
Yeah, just better field position here currently for Tampa Bay.
Looks like Tampa Bay Damage took a page out of Pat Kraft. They got up to that center 50 on the break there because he put so much pressure on that key center bunker. Uprising getting another player out D side now. So 2 attackers D side for Tampa Bay Damage, 2 snake side. Tampa Bay Damage with the snake corner, snake tower, snake inset, center 50. 4 really good positions.
Alec Holland just making a move up into that wedge to mirror up Marky Ireland's move. So both teams have a position in that crucial wedge. They're both doing their jobs of trying to shut that D side down. But for Uprising, they already have a body in D3.
Yeah, and once everyone gets into these kind of control positions here in the middle, you can't really see anybody else. So you're so locked into your zone that it gets really hard to get off of that zone. And if everybody plays disciplined paintball, it really comes down to who makes the first mistake. And in this case, it was Ireland, right?
Yeah, Marky. Yeah, Marky taking the walk, getting his eye dotted there, losing that gunfight on that D side. And that's going to make life a little harder. Oh, they get a kill, though, in the backfield for Uprising.
Yeah, Damage gets a little bit of a gift there. Let's see if he can trade out here in the middle.
Battle going down between Chad and Holland there in the center. Looks like Chad's going to be the one to get that kill and stay alive. Crucial, and immediately with the communication into his backfield. Still 2 bodies out wide, but in the back, like
2-on-3
back corner bunker for Damage.
Uprising with 2, Damage with 3. Chad switches from snake side to Dorito side, understands there's a Dorito player over there. As Rainey fills forward and gets caught. 2-on-2 now, Maddie.
Yeah, Rainey.
Wow, this is devolving into a very interesting point.
Yeah, Rainey getting caught in the transition to try to get into the snake. Keith Brown's still alive in the back corner bunker, but, it's going to be...
Great move outside by Chad. Uprising moves up to snake to cancel it out. Chad now, Keith moves inside to watch over Chad in that tower position. Really good little 2-on-2 battle playing out here, Matt. Good communication. And it's going to come down to who can work together, right?
Well, who wins the next gunfight, too?
Yeah, but who can play 2-on-1 and not just play 1-on-1 paintball?
Big move on the D side.
And he
try to bunker out Chad, and did he get him? He did not. So
1-on-2 advantage damage. And so the player for Uprising over there, he didn't work with his guy, right? He just released him and ran down the field. Keith Brandt shot him as he did that, playing with his teammate. The difference there in those 2-on-2s is almost always which two guys are working better together.
What a great point by Chad Bougier. Chad Bougier getting up into that 50 early and exerting his presence, getting a kill out of, loses Markey. A couple other bodies drop for Tampa Bay. Keith stays alive in that back corner, came down to that 2-on-2, but head on a swivel here for damage and a little bit too big of a commitment. I mean, we make a big run like that, you're hoping that there's two things that need to happen. One, your opponent, you need to, he needs to be looking, the opposite way while you make that run clean. And then also the crossfield shot can't be there. So you're kind of asking for two things to settle in order for a big run like that to work out. Not saying don't make those moves. If you feel it, definitely, that can turn it around too, but it just did not work out for Uprising in that case.
Yeah, and the longer and more drawn out it is going to be against Tampa Bay Damage, probably the less times that's going to work out for you. New York Xtreme. Aftermath, both teams getting 5 alive. This is Aftermath's first time getting 5 alive, I believe, Matt. So first opportunity for them to have a fair opportunity here. I like the way he's creeping around in that middle, looking to go forward. Goes across the gap. Looks like he gets caught by Pat Kraft there.
Yeah,
One body advantage here for New York Xtreme.
Look, with 8 minutes left and down by 3, yes, Aftermath does start to, need to hit that gas pedal a little bit.
Yep.
But Jordan just had no idea that Pat was in that. He would not have made that move.
Pat is such a crafty bastard.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Guys, I'm here all weekend. I'm here all weekend. Tip your waitresses. Try the veal, seriously.
So right now, Aftermath down a body and filtering out wide here, New York Xtreme.
And in a
spreading
tough
the field,
spot, right?
the
Because
snake
New York's
side.
got all the key positions, so they have to move through those zones down on body and down on points, and it's a very tall order for any team, especially a team that's rebuilding and just going. Looked great their first match. Don't look bad here at all, but they're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, the points are a little close, but
and we have they have a long time to play still. Hey, Aftermath gets through the gap on the Dorito side. Jerry Carr wasn't shooting the gap. His gun was down a little bit. Aftermath gets through that gap. Jerry gets his gun back up.
I'll tell you what, though, Rich, even if Aftermath does lose this game, to go 1-1 on the first day on a rebuild
brand
season,
new team,
with 4 guys that aren't ranked pro on your squad. I think they have 4 D1 players on their team.
They've done the work, Matt. I definitely commend them for the work that they put in. And they've got some really talented players.
Well, it's nice
when Carl gets shot on the cross shot there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tough death there. Hennessy still alive inside. 6:44 now to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left in this match. It's far from over. Aftermath is a really good team, and they play a ton of paintball. They're certainly capable of pulling this back.
Yeah, good communication here from New York Xtreme. They're talking it up.
Yeah. CJ Cannon now decides to get in the game out of that back center. In my opinion, he was in that back center for far too long. Like to see him in that tall temple on the snake side so he can communicate and help Will Hennessy.
It definitely help Hennessy out a little bit because Aftermath, they're already, you could look at their body language, they're already wanting to make moves here. They need to start getting things going. They need 3 just to tie. We're working on 2 minutes per
Kraft
point.
Drops his zone, and because of that, Aftermath is able to go forward into that snake 1.
CJ able to get out wide, and then there goes Corey Hall making his move from the back corner, and now going to very quickly get all the way into D3. So nice couple set of moves there for Corey Hall.
I really like the way Corey Hall is playing this season. He had a ton of a tough last season with the team, kind of finding his place, but they've really embraced him this season, and he's playing really, really good paintball, communicating really, really well, and just staying alive. But when there's an option, he goes.
He's nimble,
and he never makes mistakes.
Yeah, he got paintball famous by pulling out low body situations, but then helped the Ironman win. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely got a set of skills that can help his team out, and right now he's in a really good spot here for New York Xtreme, trying to help out Pat. They eat up body inside for Aftermath, dying out of that wedge. Might be getting a kill. That CJ gets his eye dotted as the ref goes in to check out Hennessy as the chaos kind of sets in.
Will has no idea that he's lost his tape over here.
But he flips his gun around and gets the shot in on Mazurek. So that's a huge kill from Will.
Will missed that guy?
Will's been stepping up, though. Now a little tactical retreat. We got ourselves it's a 2-on-1 situation, and Will does get shot out from that D side. Aftermath can hit the afterburners to get in, hit the buzzer, and I think that might be Trujillo. Yeah, Brandon Trujillo coming out of a Team USA and stepping up and earning his keep with this new squad here, San Diego Aftermath. Nice job by
New
Trujillo.
York just throwing that point away.
Well, Aftermath in the fight.
Yeah.
Only down by 2 with some time left.
See CJ Canner get involved in that game at some point.
Yeah, that's what CJ's been good at, is not being out of position, and he was a little out of position in that one. He's in that back center for a little too long. He got out to the back corner bunker, didn't go to the tower, and then I think it was the back corner, and then ended up just losing a gunfight. It's kind of those doors are not great gunfight, or the mini walls as a back spot.
Vision's not great from there.
It's not the most ideal spot. You're not on your feet.
Let's see Uprising get on the gas. Down by 2.
Yeah, down by 2.
Yeah. I'd like to see him in those 250s early, keep the 2 guys behind them alive, and have those guys come through and crash through, leaving those 50 positions alive. Damage gets out to the Drio side.
Damage goes heavy guns. They do risk the
Referees
D side
pull 'em out.
body, and he ends up getting taken out.
Yeah.
So Horn going to take the walk. Clean.
4 on 5 advantage for Uprising. Uprising losing their first attacker in the center of the field. Filling the bunker almost immediately. 4 on 4.
Also filling into D3 here for Uprising. Definitely filled that spot where Borromeo just got shot.
Damage is really communicating well. They've got the snake corner. 4 players spread across the back of the field. Damage likes that back line. Uprising trying to figure out how to go forward. They got 2 attackers on the Drio side, 1 attacker up the center of the field, and 1 attacker on the snake side of the field. They are attacking. They're doing kind of a late attack, Matt. And I think on this field, it behooves you to try to take the real estate early.
Well, only a minute 20 left. Uprising needs 2 to tie.
Yeah.
It's definitely the time to commit.
Yeah, they got to start going. And it looks like they're going to go on the D side because that's where their bodies are. 1 snake player for them just needs to stay alive, play island ball over here and hope the 3 get through on that. And the tower's a perfect place to do it. That's Crete filling back to there so he can support his Dorito guys. Very smart paintball from him.
Yeah, it's just they need 2 to tie. They're playing like they need 1 right now.
Yeah.
I know it's tough. You're going to the guns at Tampa Bay, which is kind of almost best in the business in situations like this. Tampa Bay thrives when you allow them to go up by 2-3 points, and then especially on a layout like this, Tampa Bay's going to find a way to stop your attack, typically.
Yeah, and he could have made that same move before he lost his player over here, and that would have been pivotal.
Closing seconds here, mostly to just kind of figure out what the spread's going to be at this point because there's 35 seconds left. So they may be able to get this one. They still have a couple bodies to work out for Tampa Bay damage, and it's not looking like that's probably going to happen. Back corner bunker on both sides here for Tampa Bay in a bend don't break moment, and they also have that back center as well too. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Uprising.
Very challenging. But, I mean, points like this make you better. The points where you just smash the other team, you don't really get much better. So hopefully Uprising can take the message. And part of that message would be don't go there because that guy in the corner can smash you. Uprising losing their attacker here on the snake side and then the match.
Well, at least he gave it a chance.
Yeah.
Live bodies don't count.
And
so
they looked good when they played offensively. When they were on the attack, when they were up in position in the center, they looked good. Tampa Bay Damage is one of the best teams in the world, and this field suits their style of play very, very well.
Yeah, so Uprising going to go 0-2. 2-point spread in this one, 3, I think a -5. 0-2 with a -5 here for Uprising on day 1. Not ideal, but with Uprising, I mean, they could. It's always the tale of 2 teams with them. They could show up tomorrow and win both their games.
You never know. You never know.
Damage able to do what they needed to do to seal up their first victory. Learn the field a little bit more. I mean, it's just different this year, only having 1 weekend on the layout. Most of the top teams or teams that have the ability have been trying to even put the extra work in, not on the weekend as well too, having the layout to play. But so jumping back this one, a lot more time left in this one. Just under 5 minutes to go. Score similar, 3-1 in favor of Xtreme.
Aftermath dropping their first attacker. I couldn't tell, Matt, if it was the back center or if he went Dorito side, but somewhere out of the back line there. New York with 5 alive, so 5 on 4 advantage here for New York. New York's got Will Hennessy up in that key bunker in the center. Pat Kraft with the can on the Dorito side. Looks like Jerry Caro in the can on the snake side. CJ Cannon in that back center now filling the can on the Dorito side. Aftermath dropping another body, Matt. 5 on 3 advantage here for New York.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Aftermath, they don't have anyone out wide on either side. There's no one on that D side anymore at all.
They're in the pocket.
Yeah, they're just pocketed up. Morris looking inside.
Oh, Pat Kraft looked into one. A little sloppy there, PK. 4 on 3 advantage now as Corey Hall releases from the Dorito corner into Dorito 3. Putting some pressure cross shot into the tower on the snake side.
But the fact that Pat just died is good that Corey made that move.
Yeah.
To get that outside contain and get up the field a bit.
And to be fair, Pat Kraft's head is 3 or 4 times the size of a normal human being's head, so he does get shot in the head a lot. Something we're working on as a team. Will Hennessy, great move into the 50 on the snake side. Corey Hall, looks like Corey might get caught in the Dorito. Referee's going to, oh, nope, he's good. So Corey gets into the Dorito 3 or Dorito 4, though. Referee is going to come in and check him.
Going to give him, another check. Initially called him clean, but it goes in and
Smart
double
for Corey,
checks.
though, experience, though. Doesn't just get on the trigger and start shooting his gun. Lets the referee get in and check him, determine whether or not he's alive. CJ Cantor releasing to the center 50 now. So we have New York Xtreme with 3 players on the 50-yard line, one behind them in the support position.
That's a good point, though, because just if you go in and the ref's like, you're good, and you're thinking, okay, well, I think I might have a hit on this other side, ask for another check, because just because the ref, because sometimes a guy will be in that
just
situation.
Just because that ref calls you
exactly.
clean,
A penalty will be assessed.
The,
like, the ref said I was clean. It's like, that doesn't negate the hit you have on your side.
You're still cheating, bro. Just because that guy didn't catch you.
So that was a little bit of a
interesting seeing Jerry Carr in a support position, watching over his little front guys up there in the 50, communicating, shooting his gun.
This field's like that, though. We've seen that already this morning quite a bit. Guys that are typically missiles forced to, because as the play develops, to play a more support role. And so who has that diversity in their skill set? That's
Jerry's just becoming a better paintball player, where he feels comfortable doing this now, where before he felt like he was just a missile and that's all he could do. Like, he's had a lot of really good points where he's been in the back, communicating, supporting. Aftermath, although they're down on body share, they got to figure it out, right, Matty? They've got to figure out how to get through that cross. Otherwise, they're not going to have enough time to try to get back in this match.
Yeah, they're down to 2:23 to go, down by 2. And they have allowed New York Xtreme to dictate the pace of this game. Xtreme with Corey working up on the D side. He's all the way into D4 now, living on the edge over there. And then CJ Cantor taking over for Pat Kraft up at that brick. Now here comes the counterattack for Aftermath, but they go into a gun, getting shot, trying to get into that D3.
This is really good for New York, because one of the things they really need to work on is discipline. And then these long, slow points where you have to have that discipline has been a struggle for them in the past. So the fact that they can do this against a high-level team like Aftermath on the field with the refs and the cameras is a big step forward in the program.
Aftermath trying to get creative and get across to make something happen.
Yeah,
and
Aftermath should concede this now and save the time and save the player.
Yeah, they're squandering precious seconds right here. Man, Carl looking really fast.
Dude, that guy's so fast.
He's always fast, but he may have gained a step in the offseason.
Just to see how fast he is, we filled this little low section up with water, and he was able to run across the lake all the way from one side to the other. It was amazing.
Jesus Cristo. It's amazing. Yeah, so, and it looks like Aftermath might just let the time run off. Cantor, goes in almost at the buzzer, realizing,
starts having, hey, what's this thing in my head that I used to make thoughts with? Oh, yeah, maybe let me use it and figure out what's going on before I hit the button.
Well, New York Xtreme feeling pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen Cantor dancing out there before. So, yeah, so it looks like Aftermath is just going to let this one go to avoid the spread, because they won their first game by 3 or 4. So now they're going to take a loss here. They're going to go 1-1 with either still a +1 or even on the point spread, which doesn't put them in a bad spot for tomorrow.
Yeah, good match for New York. Really kind of coming into their own, kind of in a growing process, right? Kind of at the beginning of a growth process. Made some mistakes out there, so we'll have some things to talk about tonight, but great overall job. And great job for Aftermath, too. They played really well in both of their matches.
Yeah, New York Xtreme's a little farther along in the construction of their team and the work that's been done.
Less changes for New York last year than Aftermath, right?
Yeah, so that's impressive. But Jesus, what a great look for Xtreme. So few mistakes today. I mean, you're never going to go through very rarely is any team, no matter what team we're talking about, going to go through and play completely fumble-free, mistake-free paintball. It was pretty close to that day for New York Xtreme. Pretty close today, and just a great job. Waited till 5 seconds, which I'm almost positive they're going to burn it off, because they'll ask both teams if you want to play that's 5 seconds. Aftermath letting a minute go off the clock essentially to just keep the spread where it's at. Xtreme's not going to want to play that 5 seconds. They're totally happy with the spread they have. So
yeah, I think we're done, Matt. Refs are off the field, man.
Yeah, so that is going to do it. Going to head into this next set. Before we get to the lunch break, going to see Edmonton Impact come back out here and play the rookies, Notorious, and then AC Diesel and the Ironmen. So we're going to see the brand new Superstar squad, AC Diesel, take on the rebuilt LA Ironmen, who brought Mike Paxson and Shane Pastana in to coach with Nikki. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting set. Stick with us here. 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major. I'm Matty Marshall. We'll be back.